It was early in 2018 that the wife and I began thinking more seriously about retirement and retirement planning. A friend at work gave accolades to a certain firm in Lexington, Kentucky, who, in a one-stop shop, could provide guidance on taxes, investments, management, and estate planning, all in one place. This is where the firm introduced us to Delmon Lyle McQuinn, an estate planning lawyer of late.
You deciding and not letting the government decide for you.
We'll show you how a trust can accomplish a lot of different things and how it has huge tax consequences.
And always remember this: a trust is the only way that you can ensure your assets go where you want them to.
Considering our nest egg size and potential exposure to risk, and hyped up from the presentations and warm cookies, we immediately took the first step with going, and gone, and had Lyle draw up our documents, all for a mere $1,700 roundabout. In 2021, Mom developed lung cancer, and as a result, my parents entertained estate planning, as they wanted to ensure their estate would be divided equitably per their specific wishes. This is where the trouble began. Contrary to very clear written directions, Lyle repeatedly kept inserting his own opinions into the documents. I can't say if Lyle was doing the actual work. These documents were boilerplated, it looked that way in many cases, or there were other motives, perhaps. I don't know. At any rate, there were multiple errors which kept reoccurring, misspellings of the names repeatedly, time after time, misrepresentations, or Lyle opinion on how things should be distributed. My parents had reasons for their wishes. In the words of Forrest Gump, I am not a smart man, Jenny, but I could sense something was off, and I requested a refund of the over $2,000 I had paid Lyle on behalf of my parents. Also, during this same time, one of the family wealth advisors was pushing a Lincoln Advantage, RILA, a hybrid annuity which blends variable annuities with indexed annuities. The pitch was something like growing your nest egg while protecting against market downturns, which was heavily stressed. The sales pitch was awesome, almost too good to be true. Something along the lines of, if the indexed market was positive, we would get a guaranteed percent return. If the indexed market was negative or down, we would be protected because the firm would buffer that loss. Okay, up to a certain percent. Anyone that knows me knows that I keep notes, very good notes, detailed notes, and copies of things. And for clarity of record, I also asked several relevant and key questions. I was already familiar with this type of financial product. For example, these types of products generally tie up your money for a very long term. You can't access your pile of money if you should want it or need it, or your situation changes. If the market is up significantly, your return, just like your losses, are usually also capped. You lose out on the full return of the market. Consider that since 2018 or so, gold has been kind to investors, and the S&P 500 has a 98.8% return. Compare that to the cap on your annuity. Yes, you get protection, but you're paying for that protection. And maybe, just maybe, you need this type of product. That's up to you.
Financial guy, and I just said, let me just talk to him, and he mentioned something about a fixed index annuity. And I know how you feel about annuities, but this fixed index annuities, he basically gave it a spin where, when the market goes down, it doesn't really go down, and I don't know. I just don't really feel too good about it. And also, too, I did talk to one of the Smart Vestor pros, and I'm going to talk to another one.
Good.
To interview them.
Good.
But I just want to know how do you feel about? I mean, I don't know much about fixed index annuities. I did a little bit of research, but I just want to hear it from you.
Follows that. The problem is not the index, or indexing. The problem is not the floor. The problem is that the annuity fees are double what you get with a mutual fund, and his commissions are 4x what he would get if he sold you the same mutual fund, same index, without it being in an annuity. And so this guy wants a commission. You need to run.
Okay.
Anyway, you can call me cautious. Or ignorant, even. I don't care. We decided to call upon Lincoln directly and, very carefully referencing my notes, asked some very specific questions. Maybe it was me. Maybe I misunderstood something. Let's just say, though, that I could not get the information between the two meetings aligned to my satisfaction. Did I mention that I can be ignorant? None of what I say should be taken as either legal or financial advice, either good or bad. I'm not licensed for anything anymore. But maybe I do have enough knowledge left to be dangerous, having at one time been licensed by the state of Kentucky for insurance products. Do you remember that universal life product? Half insurance, half investment? I remember how that worked out. Anyway, you do your research. I'm just sharing my retirement experience with you for laughs and to make you stop and think before you trade your money for a warm cookie. This was also at the same time that I took my emails and communications with Lyle to you to a representative at Family Wealth and explained my dissatisfaction, along with my concerns about the situation. Examples of the misspelled names of the heirs, the omissions of certain heirs, and the constant misrepresentations of my parents' explicit wishes, and that I had asked Lyle to you for a refund and was declined. It was Family Wealth that introduced us to Lyle to you, with glowing accolades as the best in Kentucky. Will they man up and remedy the situation? Lyle to you gaslighted us and blamed me for going back and forth between my parents as the problem, not once acknowledging the misspelled names, the omissions of children, heirs, the misrepresentation of my parents' wishes in his boilerplate production. Mind you, at the time, the refund would have been less than 1 month's fee for managing our money. Think about that. I was assured someone would look into this matter of this well-respected attorney and get back with me. Long story short, no one ever responded or provided any updates. I myself have never gone back, nor taken advantage of those free meal offers since then, content to know each month since then I have saved over $2,000 a month in management fees. It appears that people began looking into Lyle's activities in 2024, and in March of 2025, Linda Helton, through her lawyer, Teddy Mims, filed a lawsuit against Lyle, claiming multiple counts of misconduct, including breach of fiduciary duty, legal malpractice, fraud, forgery, conversion, theft by deception, elder abuse, among some others. The administrator appointed to take over Lyle's cases, John Norman, has discovered that Mr. Lyle's misleadings are much wider than only Linda Helton's. Norman wrote in his court filings that the victim count could be as many as 3,800 people. It is unclear how long McQuinn has been defrauding clients. But remember, the investigations or the accusations started in 2024. It took less than 3 months in 2025 for this highly respected lawyer to cash out early. So what do we do now? First step is to learn to check up on your broker or advisor. FINRA is the tool to do this. What is FINRA? The Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. It registers persons to engage in the securities business. Basically, FINRA Rule 2210 requires firms or their web pages that include professional profiles of registered persons who conduct business with investors to include a reference and a hyperlink to BrokerCheck, a site which helps you review your broker or registered person. You can review these requirements at the link shown below. One way, though, they bypass this requirement may be to not provide an online profile, for example. So, let's learn how to find a registered person. It's simple. Go to the FINRA site, to the top of the page, and look for BrokerCheck. The page opens up on individual, but you can choose a firm if you're interested in it. In my case, I will search for someone I actually dealt with at Family Wealth. Okay, Donald Bentley. There are a few to choose from. We see there are 2 disclosures here. Notice the Lincoln Financial ended in 2011. Okay, let's go to the SEC. Go to disclosures. Let's see, 2020. Allegedly acted as an investment advisor and rep while unlicensed. Guess he forgot to pass that Series 65 exam. That can happen to anybody, though. 2018. Someone complained here that they were misinformed about an annuity product. 2017. Alleged to have forgotten to disclose some tax liens. Well, guys, that can happen to anybody, not just a taxed or investment firm. 2015. Alleged to have misrepresented some annuity and an insurance policy. Well, that was settled. Wow, for $800,000. $800,000. No big deal, though. It was settled after all. And 2015 again. Looks like some alleged trouble over a life insurance policy lapsing. That's no big deal, though, is it? You might still have cash value or reduced paid-up insurance if it's not a term policy. Settlement there, north of $1 million. Wow. And 2003, alleged to have misrepresented the universal life policy. Those things are atrocious, in my opinion. You might like it, though. Well, there's nothing about baking and warm cookies or anything else. You can see some previous registrations. But, guys, I hope this sample test gives you the knowledge to help you protect your nest egg and do some research on your own. Until next time, be a good human. Take care.